complexity, think about having 4 or 5 generations in the South functioning on rain. Just imagine rain in the South versus rain in southeastern New Mexico. There was no such thing. There were droughts and all these other things. So you're talking about people who knew how to farm but had no water, or had to figure out a whole new watering system, whole new crops. So they had to be industrious. They had to learn new food, learn new places. These are not just most of them were educated through the military. This is an extraordinary group.
And so why did they want to come here?
They could see opportunity in the distance between the racism of New Mexicans and no Jim Crow laws. They understood that race didn't exist. They just needed the space to organize their opportunity just for them. So that's how Blackdom fit into the New Mexico overall history. They understood that it was federal territory, which meant that they couldn't have Jim Crow laws for the most part. But they were going to southeastern New Mexico, which was established by Confederates, ex-Confederates. So.
And what was talking about Confederates, what was the tone of the rest of New Mexico during that time? Talk about the racism and how it was dangerous for blacks. And
this is the part that New Mexico was not.
Have you ever stood in the darkness of night, screaming silently, you're a man? Have you ever hoped that a time would come when your voice could be heard in a noonday sun? Have you waited so long till your unheard song has stripped away your very soul? Well then believe it, my friend, that this silence can end. We'll just have to get guns and be men.
Scrubs to send off to World War II veterans. They would do it in the window, but they would do it in the window next to the colonel's wife, who's also organized a group, and they come together and they do things patriotically. So there were both tensions. There was, we're going to come together for this, but then there were also fights against the kids in school, throwing rocks and all this other kind of stuff that was racialized. So while it wasn't the South, it was still racial tensions that grew, and the more black success grew, the more the tensions grew. They didn't have the loitering laws that you would have in the South until the 1920s. Well, why is that? Because Blackdom struck oil, and now you have all these black people walking around who succeeded where, other people didn't.
And you say that these blacks still they lived in Blackdom, but they also lived in other surrounding cities.
Oh yeah. The regular pace of things was okay, so someone comes in from another place, their family stays with a family that's already established. What they're doing is getting government land, because homesteading, and as long as you prove up the land over in this case it was 3 years, it's desert land, so after that 3 years you get your land and then your family moves to your land. So basically that's the basic system. What was your question? Sorry, I was going to keep getting a long rant.
Blacks lived in Blackdom,
right,
but then they also lived in other surrounding cities like Roswell.
Right. So let's say your homestead, because it's desert and there's droughts, it didn't work. So now you, as the person who is doing all of this stuff on the land, now you go to Roswell or Dexter or Artesia, or you're a porter on one of the trains, Santa Fe Railroad, and you take that money and you bring it back to Blackdom. So while everyone was not fully engaging Blackdom on a daily basis, there was a time when they did. And you could also do things under the name of blackdom while in Roswell or in another city. Okay,